Welcome back to beautiful Southern California, Manhattan Beach to be exact, the mecca of beach volleyball. This is the tournament that everybody has been waiting for. Not only fans, but players, the surfers, even taking a break from those sets to get in here and watch some of the best volleyball in the world. Welcome inside Stadium Court. Dane Bland alongside Matt Prosser bringing you all the action here today. And wow, has it been exciting. We are just getting set for the second round of the winner's bracket for the women, and it should be something special. We've had some upsets on the court, such as Manhattan Beach, a huge qualifier yesterday, and it's getting interesting.
It is. I mean, it's only Friday, so there's lots of matches to be played. Still a long way to go for a new champion to be crowned here and get their name on the pier, but this should be a good one. The 1 seed, Sarah Sponcil, and her partner getting ready to get to action, back to work. Therese Cannon, they've been playing some good volleyball through this season so far, winning in Hermosa Beach and looking to get another victory here this weekend.
Yeah, we've mentioned it many times, and no team has repeated. Sponcil and Cannon will be trying to make that happen. Let's go down to the sand and hear the intros from Mark Sherman.
And into the second round of the winners bracket we go. These two teams looking to go undefeated through to Saturday. And let's meet them, shall we? This first team, oh, you've seen a lot of both these ladies over the last few years here on the AVP Tour, but now playing in their first tournament together. This first player out of UC Berkeley, originally from Temecula, California. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Jess Gaffney. Yeah. And her partner, she got her best finish a few years ago down in Hermosa Beach, just about a mile and a half south. She got a second place finish, now looking to make waves up here in Manhattan Beach out of Boca Raton, Florida. It's Megan Rice. And their opponents, winners from Hermosa Beach. Yes, just down south just a few weeks ago. Absolutely. Now looking to do it again. Just a little bit farther up from home, just here at the Manhattan Beach Pier, and what a place to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this first player out of UCLA just celebrated her 26th birthday. Just had to make sure with Kim real quick. The national champion, the Bruin. Let me hear it for the Flying Squirrels, Sarah Sponcil. And her partner, also the two-time national champion out of USC. She's out of Pittsford, New York, and ladies and gentlemen, she also, my birthday was just happened recently too, and Therese, your card was amazing. I appreciate that. It was a fantastic card. So nice of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for the Therese Cannon. And I know
all set to go. Players have been introduced. On the left side of your screen is going to be the #1 seed, Sarah Sponcil, and Therese Cannon. On the right side, that's Jessica Gaffney and Megan Rice, and we are set to go. This is the second round. So both of these teams have won matches earlier this morning, starting as early as 8 a.m. This should be a battle, but you gotta give the nod to the #1 seed who's already won an AVP event this year. You mentioned it, Matt. They won in Hermosa Beach and trying to become the first two-time winners on the AVP Tour in this 2022 season.
Well, I can't imagine a better way that they would want to continue their already successful season, winning Hermosa and then backing it up by winning here in Manhattan.
Sarah Sponcil, two-time national champion at UCLA with the serve. That's what makes Sponcil so good. The defense in the backcourt. You heard her nickname, the Flying Squirrel. She dives and lunges for just about everything, but her ability to convert from defense to offense is off the charts.
Yeah, one of the best defenders on the AVP Tour, one of the best defenders in the world is Sarah Sponcil, and this partnership relatively new, already getting that victory on tour, but really got to give credit to her partner Therese Cannon. The setting in transition is a huge asset that this team works really well together.
to the left by Cannon. That should give an opportunity, but no. Gaffney retreating. That's a ball that has to be converted against the #1 seed, because that's an error technically for the #1 seed, but they got out of it.
It is, but it also goes to show how good the #1 seed is. When they do get themselves in a bit of a bind, not a great in-system pass, they're able to side out of it, even though Therese follows it up with a service error there. That's what makes them so good and dangerous, is right when you think you have them in a compromised situation, they're able to still get a quality swing on the attack.
Sponcil, laser-like focus on that shot, hitting the outside of the line. And we've already seen a couple balls just hit down that middle. Not a ton of pace, but placing it perfectly.
Sarah showing how much range she has attacking the middle and also the perimeter of the court, hitting that last foot of the court boundaries as that attack goes off the blocker's hand and out of bounds.
4-3, Cannon and Sponcil. Now to a solid start. You got to be careful. We've seen a few upsets on center court. So much parity in not only the male but the female side of the draw. No team has won twice. There's a beautiful block by Jessica Gaffney.
Now, Jessica Gaffney, 6'1", timing that block nicely, as we'll see on the replay here. She steps in and then goes back to the line, closes it off, and gets the block point.
Gaffney 6'1", and that time Cannon takes a little pace off of it, goes right over the top. Therese Cannon, 6'3", out of Pittsford, New York, suburb of Rochester. And that ball, Megan Rice hits far left. And another point for Cannon and Sponcil.
Unforced hitting errors have to be limited here by Megan Rice and Jessica Gaffney if they want to try to pull off a monumental upset. So those errors have to be kept at a minimum.
Gaffney up the middle of the scene, 5-6.
(6-5), Cannon and Sponcil leading set number 1. Amazing set by Sponcil, for sure one of the best setters in the world. She commands that ball, puts it exactly where she wants.
Amazing indeed, Dane. You're right, Sarah Sponcil, definitely one of the best setters, not just on the AVP tour, but definitely in all of the world, and even running and off of 1 foot still puts up a great hittable set for her partner.
Sarah Sponcil started her collegiate career at LMU, then transferred to UCLA, where she not only set on the indoor team, she was in the number 2 position on the beach team, and a huge part of those 2 national championships in 2018 and 2019. Sarah Sponcil today versus the Norse twins. 18 kills, 67% hitting, and 18 digs. That took place at 8 a.m. this morning. How about Therese just owning the net there?
Yeah, great block back to seal over the net after another sort of out-of-system offensive opportunity for Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil. A nice dig by Jessica Gaffney, but Cannon patrolling the net to get that block point.
Therese Cannon Also a two-time national champion. Good block. Good set. Here comes Rice. He's going to have an opportunity, but Sponcil's there. Good set by Cannon. And Rice is there, so Cannon is going to have an opportunity. But this rally keeps going on, and look at the turn down the line by Gaffney. What a smart play.
Great effort by all 4 players. Longest rally of the match so far. Good defense by Megan Rice to get the dig. As we see that dig there from Sarah Sponcil, the cut shot not quite sharp enough, but a point for Megan Rice and Jessica Gaffney.
Gaffney back to serve with a jump float. That goes long. If you're Gaffney and Rice, this is exactly where you want to be. You're feeling pretty good. You know, you're the 17th seed. You're playing the #1 seed. And you want to really make it to the technical timeout when you get to the culmination of 21 and take a break. You want to be within 1 or 2 points, and that's exactly where they are right now.
Yeah, certainly when you see the seedings come out, you know that you're the 17th seed, and you look at your path. Obviously, they played the 18th seeded team, 16th seeded team earlier today, got a win in 2 sets, but knowing that their second match will be against the 1 seed, and here they are in Stadium Court holding their own, tied up at 9.
Therese Cannon out of the middle of the court, a beautiful dig and positioning by Megan Rice, but just can't handle that one. A little mesmerizing jump float serve there.
Well, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit here off the ocean, meaning that Megan Rice technically on the bad side, although most of the time the wind gets blocked here on Stadium Court, but that's, like you said, a good mesmerizing jump float serve from Therese Cannon.
11-9, make it 11-10. We talked about having just that 1-point differential, so Gaffney and Rice are where they want to be. We spoke about this year has been a lot of diversity on the tour. There hasn't been any 2-time winners, but first-time winners, Sponcil and Cannon, victorious earlier in Southern California, Hermosa Beach to be exact. Welcome back to center court here in Hermosa Beach, the women's final. And it's a good one so far, but it's being dominated by Cannon and Sponcil. The big question, can Kelly Chang and Betsy Flint turn this thing around?
Honestly, I'm pretty surprised now. 21-12 in set number 1, 15-10. These two I haven't. I think it's just a little bit rare to see stuff like this happen where it's the pass and set gone awry. I don't think I've seen them pass and set like this since they've even been together.
Championship point here on center court in Hermosa. Therese Cannon, Sarah Sponcil have never won on the AVP Tour, trying to make this their first. Great set by Chang. Sponcil has it. A swing for the win. Sarah Sponcil, Therese Cannon, champions in Hermosa. Wow, was that a special moment for those two? There's the women's winners this year. Cloth and Nuss winning in Austin, and then Chang and Flynn winning in New Orleans. And there you got a look at the Hermosa Beach Championship. You know, interesting, Matt, in that Hermosa Beach Championship, it was Sarah Sponcil's first win, and she kind of did things out of order. Usually you win at the AVP level, then you go and win at the FIVB level, and then you make the Olympic Games. She won at the FIVB level, then went to the Olympics, and then won her first tournament championship in Hermosa. So what a story Sarah Sponcil is.
Yeah, very much. I mean, she took some time to get that first AVP victory, as we saw in the highlight package right there. What a way to get it, that one-handed flying squirrel dig that she's so well known for, and then the counterattack to take the title. And yeah, you're right. It's the unconventional path, but still successful nonetheless.
And we are tied.
Beautiful serve right down the middle by Megan Rice. Caused all sorts of confusion right there between Sponcil and Cannon. Gaffney sealing up the line. Nowhere to go right there for Cannon.
Now the service pressure from the inline resulting in some quality blocking by Jessica Gaffney. Help them regain the lead now, 13 serving 12.
Nice serve by Rice.
Line.
A little bit of trouble. Nice free ball to the corner, but there's Sponcil with a one-hand dig. And that ball comes over the net and in. But the interesting thing is the line is bowed out. They may reset the line and then check the mark. That's actually what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, during that rally, we saw Sarah Sponcil make a diving play over there, move the line out a little bit, and then watch this drop. I think that line needs to get moved back, and it might change the call.
Yeah, that ball should be ruled out, because if that line was moved during the play, which it was, you saw it bowed out, then you want to pick that ball up or pick that line up, reset it to its original position, and then determine if it's in or out.
Our second official pretty adamant that the line still would have gotten hit by that ball regardless of where it was. And the point will be awarded to Rice and Gaffney.
That's a really big point right there, and we'll have to get a double check clarification on if the rules, have changed, because that's a very intricate rule. Doesn't happen very often.
Right. Yeah, good bounce back though by Cannon to get the side out. See if they can get back on track now.
Therese Cannon up and over. I mentioned earlier, Therese Cannon being from Pittsford, New York. She was playing indoor volleyball, transferred to USC, and hadn't played much beach, but became an amazing player, won 2 national championships, and now one of the most feared blockers on the tour. Nice controlled hit by Megan Rice. Jessica Gaffney back to serve. She played 2 seasons of indoor volleyball and 1 on the sand at the University of San Francisco before transferring to Cal, where she played 2 years in both indoor and beach volleyball. So she has quite the resume, and there's Cannon again owning the net.
Yeah, that set in transition just a bit too tight for Megan Rice, not able to get the ball past Therese Cannon's block.
Smart hit by Megan Rice right there. If she hits it down the line, Sponcil's there.
Always got to have good vision, especially when you're attacking from off the net. Megan Rice doing a nice job to get the side out.
The finish from Sponcil and Therese. What an angle around the block. 7, or rather 6-6.
Cannon with a monster hit right there.
That was an angle that we had not seen her attack yet. Just going strong wrist away, showing that she has quite a bit of range up at the net.
Here comes Gaffney. And that's one of those statistics that you're not going to see in the books, right? The intimidation factor, the area that Cannon's taking away that results in a ball hit out of bounds.
Therese Cannon doing a really good job moving laterally to stay in Jess Gaffney's vision and then influencing that attack by her going out of bounds.
Seven.
I always like that play as you make a hitting error on the left side, they come right back to you, serve you again, you go for a back set. Change up the angles a little bit, see the vision, see the open court, go to that high line shot, get the side out.
Nice pass, there's the back set. And just thunders it, but Megan Rice holds her ground and is able to convert this one.
The wherewithal by Megan Rice to get the dig, stay in play, and then use the left hand to get the point.
It is 18-17, and it is officially crunch time.
It's funny, you see a lot of players use that left hand when it's in an emergency. We saw Gina Urango earlier today use it a few times, and it's important to practice that because you just never know. Every volleyball play is different.
Yeah, that's, you're absolutely right, Dan. I mean, you have to be good at some of those intangibles, and having a solid left hand, if you're right hand dominant, when needed, you can call on it and still get the point for your side.
So look at Megan Rice on the left. She went to Florida. She was a National Merit Scholar and graduated cum laude in mechanical engineering. A lot of really smart players out here, huh, Matt? What'd you study?
Broadcast journalism.
Wow. It's rare that you study exactly what you end up doing.
Yeah. Took a little bit of a roundabout path to get here, but you know, nice to put the degree to use. And once we get back to action now.
Therese Cannon hitting 375. Sponcil hitting 333. It's Rice and Gaffney with the lead, though. And that ball looks out of bounds, but it's called in. It is called in. Wow, that was close. We're not going to get an argument from Megan Rice or Jessica Gaffney, and we're all tied up at 18.
Yeah, just perfectly placed. We'll get a look here right down the line on the left side of your screen. Catches the outside of it. No argument from either side.
Smart 1 foot jump by Gaffney. A little tight on the pass, but she makes up for it.
Rice and Gaffney hanging in there, getting some good side outs and not getting a lot of service pressure from the opponent so far.
Oh, Rice is in the right position, but can't dig that ball. That's a huge point. Instead of possible 18 to 20, we're all tied up at 19.
A very huge point. Let's see what Therese Cannon can do from the inline now. See if they can get her side back into the advantage now at a very tense moment here in set number 1.
Wow, what a serve line to line by Therese Cannon. And an even better high roll line shot from Megan Rice right there. Talk about court vision.
Yeah, great shot as well. Really nice serve from Therese Cannon. But Megan Rice with the wherewithal and vision, it hit it right back to the corner for the side out.
Set point here by Gaffney and Rice, and the trickler gets Sponcil and Cannon, and just like that, the #1 seed is up against the ropes.
What a way to finish set number 1 off that great side out, followed up by the trickler ace to take it 21-19. You said it, Dane, the #1 seed getting tested here.
Well, we've already had some upsets here on Stadium Court. Do we have another one brewing? Can Cannon and Sponcil turn it around in set number 2?
The AVP is brought to you by Sky Vodka, made with water enriched by Pacific Minerals for a fresher tasting vodka and soda. By Waste Management, From recycling to renewable energy, we're working hard for a sustainable tomorrow. By Monster Hydro, hard-charging hydration. And by Terramana Small Batch Tequila. Bring on the mana.
Those radio gym shorts that you have from college, they're done. Get them out of here. It's time to upgrade your short game with the one from Fabletics, man.
We love them. Your girlfriend will be stealing these. They're the best.
This fabric fixes another major issue, fit.
It's got this crazy stretch to it that looks so cute when I do my yoga or errands or like literally anything. They're the most comfortable, best feeling, luxe-tastic fabric that we have ever worn.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Welcome back to Stadium Court here in Manhattan Beach. Very special guest joining us right now. My former partner, Eric Fenoy Moana, multiple winner here on Stadium Court in Manhattan Beach. He's got his name on the pier a few times. And thanks for coming up and joining us. You're out here early on a Friday, which is surprising. I usually see you on Championship Sunday. But how about the upsets and some of these teams really coming up and stepping up on the biggest stage?
For sure. There's a lot of upsets. I mean, you know what it is when you give a team confidence, which we just saw just now, they feel that they can be winning. And now they're going to be in trouble.
Police on two after the self-cover from Sponcil.
Can't.
Change it up on you guys.
All right, we had to switch out equipment here so we could hear Fenoy. We were saying early for you to be down here. I know you come out every year, Championship Sunday. It's such a cool event. So many legends come down to watch. But how special is it, Eric? I don't have my plaque on the pier. You have it multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, what did that feeling mean for you?
Well, it's a special one because when I was a young kid, like at 16, 17, trying to qualify with my brother at the time, it was just a dream. You know, I just sat there and I said, you know, I'd love to play in this event, and, you know, who knows what's going to happen with my career and what career I would even actually have. But I would always just sit there and, you know, eyes wide open. Someday I'm going to be competing in this at a high level, and then someday I'd love to put myself in a position to win. And they all come true, but at the same time, there's a lot of work that goes with it.
And nowadays, you know, with the addition of collegiate volleyball, there's so many women training, women and men training at a younger age. Tell us a little bit about Elite, your club that you run with Holly McPeak and Barb Fontana. It seems to be the premier club in the South Bay.
Yeah, I think we do a good job as far as preparing them to play in D1 schools, where we have like over 130 girls who went to D1 schools or are playing in D1 schools, and they're very talented. And then what has D1 college done, especially, you know, you're at USC and UCLA, they've produced these girls that come out of college and they're ready to compete at a high level and potentially win, you know, in year 1 or year 2, where in the men's side, because it's so difficult and it's more of an experience sport, it takes some time. And, you know, you can see these girls, they're very athletic, they know the game well, they're very experienced, and that's probably what the men are going to lack as far as a young.
Right, it's that experience that we just saw Therese Cannon stuffing that ball down, and I mentioned earlier, Therese came to SC when she didn't have a ton of experience. And the interesting thing is that you bring up, the point is that these women are getting formal training at an earlier stage. And last week, I think I was counting, out of the 32 players that were in the draw, 22 of them were coming out of college. So I think we'll see a time where every single player right now on the women's side will have that formal training at a university prior to getting out here.
Yeah, and I think that's great for women's beach volleyball because of the Olympics. It's getting them prepared earlier, younger, faster, stronger, more knowledgeable. I think there's something in there that there's a bright future for any one of these girls if they want to take it. And you obviously got to work hard.
The men's side, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If the Olympics were happening this year, who's the front runner? Is it Trevor and Tri?
Andy Benish and Phil Dalhouser.
Wow, you like that team. Andy Benish, Phil
I think that when I was watching it, I've never seen Phil play with, obviously, the 2 blockers, very good blockers, and potentially 2 jump servers. That was probably Phil's easiest win, and his, you know, he's got over 100 wins. I think that was his easiest one.
Yeah, and Eric's talking about Austin this year, where Phil played with Andy Benish, got him his first victory, and then a week later he plays with Casey Patterson, wins again. He's the only player, men or women, who's won twice this year. And then let me put you on the spot. How about on the women's side? A bit of a shuffle going on, but Cannon and Sponcil look strong. They won Hermosa. They're in the finals in Atlanta, the first gold series a week ago, and now they're right here trying to get their name on the pier.
Yeah, I think they have a good shot at it as far as momentum and also confidence. Number one, you have to win once. And once you win that once, then you believe. And then when you believe, there's a lot of things that happen in there that you can start doing, more consistency and beating teams. Like, obviously they're in a dogfight here, but I feel that, I mean, it's 9-4. I knew this is kind of going to happen. And I feel like they'll take care of them in the third as well. But you know, it's a challenge, and they can go to this challenge and actually win, as opposed to before, if they didn't win a tournament, they would not do that. I think they would probably lose this if they didn't win an open.
And you mentioned they might win in the third, but every game is valuable to get the rest. Obviously, your nickname back in the day, the Body. You took care of yourself. How important is it to stay on top of your game and win your games quick if you're going to win a tournament as big as Manhattan Beach?
I think our goal when we played together was to beat them quick. How fast can we get off this court? So because we knew the importance of being rested and playing in big games, I wanted to be more rested. And if I wasn't more rested, I wanted to be more conditioning with you. With any team that we played against, is just more of, that's my mentality. I didn't want conditioning to be a part of why I was winning and losing games.
Control the controllables.
Absolutely.
Like we like to say. Well, I know you got to get going. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on Sunday, courtside, I'm sure. Living the VIP life, and that's Eric Fenoy Moana my former partner, and really great to have you stop by. You're welcome up here anytime.
All right.
All right, as we get back to action on center court, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil trying to even things up here after losing set number 1.
Well, a great start for Sponcil and Cannon. The response after that 21-19 deuce game loss in set number 1. Getting out of the gates fast, building up a nice lead, and really setting the tone high here in set number 2. Sponcil laying out for another dig to keep the ball alive. Gaffney's option play doesn't clear the net, so it's another point for the 1 seed there.
Oh, always good to hear from Ifanoy, legend down in the South Bay for sure.
Always a pleasure to have 2 Olympic gold medalists up here in the broadcast booth. And I remember watching you guys win that gold medal. And it's nice to see you 2 still on speaking terms, and you'll have that lifelong memory to reflect on and also pass along quite a bit of knowledge to the next generation of volleyball players in your respective coaching duties.
Yeah, the fun thing playing with Eric was you always knew he was going to show up ready to go, in the best shape. It was funny because we never really worked out together. You just knew that you were ready to go. And look at Cannon releasing the cannon right there. And an exclamation point, 14-5 here in set 2.
Yeah, they've really got out of the gates fast here in set number 2 and have set a high standard that Rice and Gaffney are having a hard time keeping pace with.
Megan Rice will jump float to Therese Cannon. Look at that wide set, which is perfect for the tool off the block.
We're going to take our technical timeout, 15-6. All Sponcil and Cannon here in set number 2. But of course, Gaffney Rice need 1 set to none.
15-6, you don't see that very often on a technical. Complete domination here in set number 2 by Sponcil and Cannon after losing that first one. And here's a good look at the TNNS dig of the day. It's, of course, the flying squirrel. Sarah Sponcil getting it done, fully elevated through the air, almost flying, and controls that, and then ends up winning the point. That's the TNNS dig of the day. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that out of Sarah Sponcil.
Doing what she does best. Just when you think you've found that sliver of open court, Sarah Sponcil comes flying out of nowhere to get the dig and keep the ball alive.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. here on Stadium Court. Loser of this will have to play 1 more later on this afternoon to make it into Saturday.
Coming out of the technical timeout, 15-6. Sponcil and Cannon, Therese Cannon, out of Pittsford, New York, with a jump float serve, putting Rice in a little bit of trouble, and Gaffney right there, and make it 16-6.
Now this second set is basically all but over in favor of Sponcil and Cannon. Really, Rice and Gaffney need to find some rhythm that they can try to take into set number 3, as we're certainly going to be headed to that tiebreaker in just a few moments.
Using the block for the kill, Megan Rice.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you see it, it's almost academic, right? They have such an insurmountable lead, just 5 points away from wrapping up this second set, and it'll be interesting how Gaffney and Rice approach that third set. I think they need to start right now to get the momentum back, to start playing as we saw them playing in set number 1.
Oh, I agree with you, Dan. They got to be aggressive from the inline, try to get Sponcil and Cannon out of system like they did in set number 1. Sponcil gets a great roll shot down the line for that point, but really, again, find some momentum, have some fun. Don't worry about the scoreboard right now at this point of the game, but just really play together and enjoy the moment and try to carry it over to set number 3. hard to enjoy the moment, though, when you're down by 10 points to the #1 seed in here in Manhattan Beach. But he did something right to win set #1, so.
Oh, left-handed hit right there by Sponcil, and wow, she must have heard us talking in the earlier matches. We've seen that left being broken out by multiple players, and she makes it look easy.
Yeah, watch the replay. Good step close, even with the footwork, and she attacks that ball with the left hand. Didn't know she was ambidextrous.
Sarah Sponcil can do it all, and there's a mesmerizing float serve that Megan Rice cannot handle. Make it 19-7, set #2. The #1 seed, Sponcil and Cannon, trying to force a third set. And there's yet another point, so we're at set point, 22-7. It was Gaffney and Rice winning set 1, 21-19. Nice block by Sponcil. And Therese in the net.
Okay, let's go here.
So we'll take the turn, 20-8. And it's just going to take one side out here for Sponcil and Cannon to wrap this second set up and push us to a third. Quick arm, and that'll do it. Cannon and Sponcil win set #2. We will have a set 3, and that's Sarah Sponcil. She just knows when to turn up the heat right there. She banged that one off the block. So the big question, can Gaffney and Rice recover and bring back some of that first set magic?
At Corner Bakery, we're making your choice simple with choose 2 options every day. Choose 2 of your favorites and turn a simple lunch into a perfectly paired meal. And we're not talking about a few choose 2 options. Pair up any sandwich or panini, any cafe fresh salad or warm simmering soup, or any pan sauteed pasta. So many kitchen crafted options, so little time. Your perfect choose 2 combination is waiting at the Corner Bakery.
Dear mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear that most of you only disable your phones when you fly. You call it airplane mode. But maybe you don't have to get on a plane to get away, yeah? Allow my brother to demonstrate. You know what we call this? Kona mode. One life, right? Mahalo. Longboard Island Lager and Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
What a place to be, the South Bay, Southern California, in Manhattan Beach for the Manhattan Beach AVP Gold Series Open. Dane Blanton alongside Matt Prosser, and we are going to the third set here in the women's division, the second round of the winner's bracket. The #1 seed, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil, losing the first set 21-19, bouncing back 21-8 in the second set, and we are just about underway in the third set. Megan Rice and Jessica Gaffney have played well. They started off on fire, Matt, but were unable to close it out. What do they have to do here in the third set, turn things around?
Well, they got to go back to game #1 and keep doing what worked for them in set 1, where that was serving tough and specifically serving Therese Cannon, getting them out of system. And then obviously Jessica Gaffney has got to get a couple early block points for her side, try to get that advantage, because if they just go neck and neck the whole way, it's going to be very challenging for Rice and Gaffney to pull off the upset. But it starts now with pressure from the inline.
Jessica Gaffney at the net, trying to get the block against Cannon. That one ricochets out of bounds right there. Gaffney, 26 years of age, 6'1". Mentioned earlier, played at San Francisco and at Cal Berkeley. Megan Rice down the line, but Sponcil is there. What enough by Cannon. A one-handed stab, but she cannot line up the line shot.
Now Gaffney escaping that time. Cannon with a great dig off that drop off the net. Gets that right hand out there for the dig. She's not able to convert for the point, but that is a big break for Gaffney and Rice.
High up over the top, 6'3" Therese Cannon over the 6'1" Jessica Gaffney.
Yeah, Cannon just using all of her wingspan, attacking that ball at its highest point, blasting it off the hands of Gaffney's block and down.
A net violation, point to Gaffney and Rice. Point to Gaffney and Rice.
Remember, the third set, a bit of a sprint. Instead of 21 points, it's 15. You switch on increments of 5, so no one has an advantage due to the wind or the sun. The wind starting to pick up, Matt. Kind of a side wind.
Yeah, touch a traditional off the ocean breeze here in Manhattan Beach, kind of north to south. But that's 2 errors on the side of Sponcil and Cannon to give Gaffney and Rice a 3-2 advantage, but that service error letting them off the hook that time.
Therese Cannon going back to serve. Therese Cannon, one of the nicest individuals you'll ever meet. Very humble. And just a hard worker, kind of puts her head down and goes hard, but extremely competitive. I think this is a fantastic matchup, Sponcil and Cannon, in terms of representing the U.S. and making a push for the Paris Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. Expect to see them competing internationally throughout the remainder of the summer. It's a very busy season for Cannon and Sponcil, playing domestically, then traveling internationally to play on the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour as well. And that season really going to have some big tournaments coming up for them on the international level as well.
$15 errors so far by Gaffney and Rice. That has been the difference, but you know what? You throw it all out the window because you are within 1 point. You're in the third set, and you're just trying to get to 15 first with that 2-point advantage. So despite what has happened so far, just got to focus on that next play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, basically everything gets reset, and anything can happen in this third set tiebreaker. Like you said, the sprint to 15 points. And we've tied up at 5-5 here, a third of the way through it. So should make for an entertaining finish here, Dane.
5-all, and this is exactly what you wanted to do if you were Gaffney and Rice, is to come out, play as confident as you were playing in set number 1 and try to take it to this number 1 seed. You got nothing to lose, playing with house money technically.
Right. And like you said earlier, if you can stay within 1 or 2 points, that gives yourselves a chance to get a couple of lucky breaks, win a long rally, and you know, stay within striking distance.
Comes Rice from the right side. She's dug by Sponcil. Sponcil taking a look at the court and snaps it quickly. That's what I like about Sponcil. She kind of cuts you up. She's kind of the surgeon in terms of her shots, but when need be, she turns up a quick arm swing.
Especially at big moments like that. You get a dig, a perfect dig, and then your partner gives you a perfect set. Sarah Sponcil able to attack that ball with a very big emphasis on the attack down the middle.
Here comes Megan Rice from the right side, and it's Therese Cannon who's up and over pressing. Therese Cannon on absolute fire.
Back-to-back points right there. Sorry, Dana, to cut you off, but a huge block at a perfect time, and you can start to feel the momentum that Sponcil and Cannon had in set number 2, coming back now in set number 3 with now a 3-point advantage in this tiebreaker.
Yeah, you know, I talked to Teresa's parents earlier, Jim and Mary, and Jim said that his mother, who is Teresa's grandmother, watches every single match on YouTube, and she is in her 90s, very tech savvy. So her biggest fan out there, and would love to see her name on the pier in Manhattan Beach. And Teresa and Sponcil starting to step things up here in this third set.
Yeah, it's every beach volleyball player's dream to get their name on the pier, and fortunately for Teresa's grandmother, hope she's watching along and supporting.
There's the stats for Gaffney. Over a mile traveled in this match alone. And I believe over 55 jumps, so she's getting her work in for sure, but it is 9-6 now. Sponcil and Cannon starting to pull away.
Yeah, 3-point lead in a tiebreaker set to 15 is a very, very fortuitous place to be. Got some confusion on the court, however, about point and serve.
1-point ball game.
So the score is showing 8-7. At one point it was 9-6. I want to get full clarification there.
Using the edge of the block for East.
And I believe we now have the correct score, up 9-7. Sponcil and Cannon are leading.
So that was a big side out right there for Cannon and Sponcil. That set more over to the right side, so Cannon kind of coming through the middle, attacking the high hands like she's been doing all match long, but Sarah Sponcil with an unfortunate service error there.
Here, third set. Big side out opportunity coming right now for Gaffney and Rice. They've been pretty consistent, had a little slip up in the second set, but they are knocking on the door, trying to get the upset over the #1 seed. Here comes Gaffney. And Therese has really asserted herself at the net.
Yeah, Gaffney and Rice being aggressive with their setting, but that is resulting in that ball being a little close to the net, which brings Therese Cannon into the play there, and she gets back-to-back blocks, that second one for that block point.
11-8. Cannon into the net, so a little bit of a break for Gaffney, and Rice will take the side turn. 11-9. And this could get really interesting.
Now back-to-back service errors there from Cannon and Sponcil at a unfortunate time in this third set, but still with a 2-point advantage. Like you said, really, this is, you know, the business end here, 4 points away from taking the match. A big side-out opportunity coming up, but Gaffney has to put some pressure on their opponents from the inline now.
Gaffney's going to go with the jump float right down the middle, and it is an ace serve, so a huge serve positionally for Gaffney.
I really like that serve down the middle. They'd kind of gone back and forth between Cannon and Sponcil on the last side change, and this time I think that ball should have been taken by Therese Cannon. Down the middle for the service ace.
Usually the cross-court player has precedent, and now a trickler. And all of a sudden, just like that, after the side change at 11-9, we're all tied up at 11, and Sponcil and Cannon have seen enough. They have called for a timeout, and they're going to talk this one over.
And now those two service errors from Sponcil and Cannon get magnified, Dan, because if they had made those serves, they could have gotten real points. You know, Therese Cannon has 7 blocks in the match so far. Could have given her an opportunity to get more. but back-to-back service aces from Jessica Gaffney ties us up at 11 here in set number 3.
Yeah, and you'll take a little luck with that trickler, and there's a look. Gaffney and Rice, 4 aces as opposed to just 2 for Cannon and Sponcil. And Cannon and Sponcil also leading in service errors, a category you don't want to lead in, 6-4. So that has been kind of the difference, and that's why we are all locked up.
Well, Therese Cannon's been blocking so well in this match, and it magnifies those service errors even more, right? I mean, again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse a little bit, but 2 in a row service errors in set number 3 keeps your opponent in the match, and then it just takes 2 quick service errors for it to be tied up.
So we are Stadium Court here in Manhattan Beach on the first day, on Friday of the main draw, and the number 1 seed getting all the pressure that they could ask for from the number 17 seed on your left-hand side of Gaffney and Rice. Gaffney trying to make it 3 in a row here. And that ball out of bounds. That's one of those sins of serving. You don't miss coming out of a timeout, because that's what that whole timeout was designed for.
And especially after back-to-back aces. Would have liked to have seen her go right down the middle again. She misses wide, and now Sponcil will serve.
Nice pass by Gaffney. And she goes up and over. That's a smart play right there. Do not challenge Therese Cannon right now. She has been dominant. That's the right play.
Yeah, very well placed. High line shot, reaching high, going over the block and down the line for that point.
Oh, and Megan Rice puts that one into the net as well. So when they watch that tape back, they're gonna be kicking themselves that they put 2 balls out of bounds or into the net and didn't give Sponcil and Cannon an opportunity to mess up.
You have to force your opponent to side out, especially in set number 3 and especially at 13-12 here from Stadium Court.
Here comes Therese. She'll run to the net and try to block Rice. It's rolled right to Sponcil. And Sponcil lighting it up right down the middle. Gaffney trying to complain to the ref. I'm not sure what she didn't like. The set maybe was had a little spin on it maybe, but just like that, Cannon and Sponcil up 14-12.
First of all, I can understand the complaint about the set, but you got to look at that shot right there. Right into Sarah Sponcil's lap. You cannot hit a cut shot into the defender's lap. It's too easy for her to handle, regardless of Cannon's set, which might have been a little marginal. There has been very little ref involvement in this match in terms of double contacts. I like the no call. You got to keep playing through it and just go with the flow.
Yeah, if you're Gaffney and Rice, you're thinking we're all tied up at 11. Had all the momentum. And then we serve 2 balls out of bounds and then a roll shot right to the best defender in the world, who gobbles it up and takes care of business.
See, that ball came out clean, I thought. It had a little bit of spin. Definitely not that questionable to call a double contact at this stage of the match if you're first official. And let the players play and let them make the outcomes of this match. Don't get involved as a first official.
But Matt, what we have to talk about is that pressure, right?
Yeah.
When the pressure starts to build, you start looking externally for solutions.
Yep. Exactly.
And after those 2 missed serves, the roll shot, maybe a little frustration for Gaffney and Rice. The big question, can they recover? And they for sure have to get this side out. Match point number 1, Cannon and Sponcil. Perfect pass by Rice. Off the top of the block, it's going to have to go over. Rice is going to have another opportunity. Cannon drops, digs it perfectly. She's going to get a good swing. When she pokes it down the line for the win, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil avoid A huge curveball thrown at him that could have thrown him into a tailspin and thrown him to the contenders bracket. Instead, they move on to the third round of the winners bracket.
Yeah, that's a great response by Sarah Sponcil and Therese Cannon, really coming out, dominating set number 2, and then having the composure of missing some serves late in set number 3, being tied at 11-all, but then really finishing strong and closing the deal with that 15-12 win in set number 3.
Cannon and Sponcil all finished for the day. They will play tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Stadium Court. As we get a good look at the highlights, it was up and down, back and forth, but in the end, the number 1 seed prevailed.
Just too much experience, too much composure on the side of the number 1 seeded team to come back and pull off the reverse sweep, if you will, in 2 sets after giving up that first set 21-19 in that deuce game. But Therese Cannon at the net really making the difference, and obviously some great defense by both sides, especially Sponcil, to get her side the victory.
Therese Cannon, Sarah Sponcil had their first victory about a month ago in Hermosa Beach. It was the first AVP championship for both of the players. Now they have their sights set on Manhattan Beach. Big difference here in the match stats, Matt. Again, hitting efficiency dominated by Sponcil.
Certainly 18 errors against Gaffney and Rice. Only 18 digs to 25, and then obviously a 104 hitting efficiency is not going to get it done when you're playing the 1 seed here in Manhattan Beach on Stadium Court.
Well, everybody wants to get their name on the pier. Cannon and Sponcil advance and keep their eye on the prize.